Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. First things first, I reached 1,000 subs, so I wanted to take a moment and say thank you for supporting me. Thank you for supporting the hobby. And it's the end of 2024. I cannot believe how fast this year went. It just seems like a few weeks ago, I was finishing the 1990 Aggressor build, and now I'm staring at it in the 2025 BMX Museum calendar. Today's video is short and sweet. But I've been getting asked a lot of questions about the Shim spacers for the Porkchop BMX GT Power Series spindle bolts. And I did make a video about the shortcomings of the Porkchop spindle bolts, and I'll link that video if you haven't seen it. And on the BMX Museum forums, I provided detailed information on the shims required to space the spindle bolts outward and give them a more flush look rather than that sunken in look. I didn't make a video about the shims because I was in discussion with Justin at Porkchop BMX, and he was going to redesign the spindle bolts to Rev 2, and that would solve the issue, making them thicker. In fact, Justin confirmed that Rev 2 has been available for quite some time. He's been selling them until he ran out of stock, and he's currently out of stock on the new GT Power Series spindle bolts. And the bad news is, according to Porkchop, they will not be back into stock until about March of 2025. So hang tight. I decided to make a video on the shim washers. So let's get to it. So this really only applies to those of you that have the Rev 1 style spindle bolts. And you'll know them because they'll have that sunken in look when you install them. For the new GT reissued Power Series cranks, my recommendations are as follows. McMaster car part number 90214A229. These are 316 stainless steel shim washers, ring shims. They're 0.2 millimeter thick, which is 8/1000ths of an inch, by 14 millimeter ID, which is 551 thousandths, by 20 millimeter OD, which is 787. The package quantity is 10, so just be aware of that. You're going to need about 1 or 2 of these, so you'll have some left over. Maybe you can pay it forward and give them to somebody else, or hold on to them for future builds. You'll also need McMaster car part number 90214A as in Apple 531. These are also 316 stainless steel ring shims. This now is 1 millimeter or 40/1000ths of an inch by 14 millimeter ID, which is 551, by 20 millimeter OD, which is 787 thousandths. And of course, the package quantity is 10. Now this way, you can vary the thickness depending on the production tolerances that are in the cranks. On a few arms that I've test fitted, the shim stack up needs to be about a 1/16. Now I will leave a link in the description for those McMaster car washers. You certainly do not need to get them from McMaster car because they can be on the pricey side. I provided the dimensions to you so that you can procure them elsewhere if you like, maybe your local hardware store. I just use McMaster car because it's very convenient, it's super fast, and it's easy. Now, for the old school SR-made GT Power Series cranks, you'll need a different shim washer. This one is also 316 stainless steel. It's McMaster car part 98690A as in Apple 115. It's 10.5 millimeter, which is 413 thousandths ID, by 18 millimeter OD, which is 708 thousandths, by 1.4 to 1.8 millimeter. There's a variance there, which is about a 1/16 of an inch in thickness. And that's what you'll need to get these Porkchop spindle bolts out so that they look flush and they look like they're supposed to, like the old school did. So that brings us to the end of the video. I want to wish everyone a very happy new year and stay tuned for more videos. Now get back to your builds. Stay safe, healthy, and remember, tomorrow's not guaranteed.